Released in 1983, Scarface was bombarded with Rotten Tomatoes, and director Brian De Palma was nominated for a Golden Raspberry as the worst representative of his profession. The picture was accused of excessive violence, an implausible portrayal of Cubans, and more. They only praised the actors for being very disgusting as the villains. However, after the emotions subsided, the picture was viewed differently. The film moved from the category of failures to the category of a cult. Angry reviews have changed to praise those who originally lauded the movie. For example, one of the most famous American film critics, Roger Ebert, immediately praised the picture, as did director Martin Scorsese, who was delighted with the film. Today I would like to recall the short history of the production of Scarface. If the production had gone perfectly, we'd all be seeing a very different the movie we all know now. It was going to be directed by Sidney Lumet, who had directed such hits of the 70s as Serpico and Network. Producer Martin Bregman called Al Pacino and Lumet for the project. The three had previously worked together on Serpico and Dog Day Afternoon. The films were great at the box office, and the new project would also be successful. But something went wrong. Lumet wanted to make the film more political and accused the government of the country's high crime rate and the huge amount of drugs. Producer Martin Bregman, on the other hand, did not think that a political film would appeal to a wider audience and wanted to focus on the personalities of the gangsters. He did not get Lumet to agree but replaced him with Brian De Palma of Carrie fame. Oliver Stone, who was then known as the scriptwriter for Midnight Express, wrote the script. The movie made a lot of money in the cinemas, and Oliver was awarded the Golden Globes for his screenplay. His role in the film without long auditions got Al Pacino and Stephen Bauer, who played Manny Ribera. He got the part simply by showing up for an audition. When the casting director saw him, he immediately showed the actor to the director and the producer, saying he was perfect for the supporting actor. They agreed, and Stephen got the role without a tryout, being the only actor with Cuban roots in the project. According to many rumors, John Travolta called producer Martin Bregman and suggested his candidacy. Brian De Palma, who had previously worked with John in Blowout, was not against it. But the producers decided otherwise. Perhaps if Blowout at the box office was more successful, then the role of Manny may well see Travolta. The biggest problem was selecting the actress for the leading female role. Al Pacino and Brian De Palma wanted someone other than Michelle Pfeiffer. Even Pacino and Palma considered and voted for even Sigourney Weaver, hoping they would convince producer Martin Bregman to change their minds. The primary candidate for the female lead was Glenn Close. She was not a superstar then, but everyone liked her at the audition except Martin Bregman. He explained to his colleagues that he knew better than they did about casting and insisted on Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle had previously appeared in a Miss California beauty pageant a few years before that, and then starred in the unnecessary Charlie Chan and Grease 2. Most of the filming occurred in Los Angeles, which was remade as Miami. Initially, they wanted to shoot the film in Miami, but because of the large diaspora of Cubans in Florida, the producers and state authorities decided not to take any chances. There was nothing else to do but move the movie to the West Coast. The move instantly increased the budget of the film, and since Brian De Palma couldn't save money, the costs increased several times. The budget after the movement grew to $25 million. According to other sources, the budget could be even more and reach $37 million. If we recalculate this budget for inflation in 2023, the budget is about $100 million. The budget was not only affected by the move from Miami to Los Angeles. Filming was stopped several times due to bad weather conditions. For a week had to be stopped for a week because of Al Pacino's passion for shooting and getting badly burned and going to the hospital. Because De Palma wanted the scenes with explosions to look as spectacular as possible, he almost killed 2 stunt performers on the set. Even Steven Spielberg came to the shooting. The director was working on Twilight Zone, and when he went on the set, he asked for a camera in his hands. It is believed that he filmed several episodes during the house storming in the final picture. It's not uncommon to hear rumors that in the making of, the actor and director actually sometimes dabbled in cocaine. Of course, all to get into character. Officially, it's all denied. The most surprising thing about Scarface is that it did not suffer in post-production. More precisely, when the footage was brought to the studio, everyone was terrified. The director was asked to cut out some of the episodes so the film could pass the rating committee, but he didn't do it. Because of the excessive violence in the footage, the rating committee wanted to give the film the highest possible age rating. Brian De Palma disagreed with the rating committee and asked for help from the police department. The police said after seeing the draft of the film that it was pretty accurate. After that, the commission agreed with the filmmakers and asked them to remove a few episodes. As a result, De Palma sent the picture to the commission once again, cutting the scene with the severed hand in the chainsaw scene. The commission gave the film its usual adult rating. Hollywood directors often pull such tricks. Martin Scorsese admitted more than once that he intentionally shoots some scenes in his movie in a deliberately gruesome and bloody way, so that the commission reacts exactly to this episode, forgetting about all the others. Scarface was released in December 1983. The film got off to a good start even though it couldn't take the top spot because of Clint Eastwood and his sudden impact. But even though Scarface lost to Eastwood at the US box office, it still made a reasonable $44 million at the US box office. The rest of the world's box office added another $21 million for a box office total of $65 million, which for a budget of $25 million is okay. So when they talk about the box office failure of the film is usually referring to an unconfirmed budget of $37 million. If Scarface had such a huge budget, with the standard cinema royalties and marketing costs, the studio could be at a loss. It's generally thought that it was the critics who pounced on the film from all sides, just as many figures in, but there were exceptions. For example, actor Eddie Murphy was thrilled with Scarface, repeatedly stated that it was one of his favorite movies. We can already say that Scarface has had a significant impact on the entertainment industry, and references to it can be seen in many Hollywood movies, TV shows, or computer games. But the fact that Brian De Palma received a nomination for a Golden Raspberry for Worst Director is one of the funniest moments. Al Pacino has admitted in many interviews that the role of Tony Montana is one of his favorite parts of his career. For years, reports have swirled about Scarface returning to screens via reboot, with Luca Guadagnino attached as director, and Diego Luna previously rumored to be taking the lead role. And the Coen brothers wrote the script. It is still unclear whether there will be a sequel to the cult film or not. No release date has yet been announced for Scarface.